Hi fourth graders, it's me, Mrs. Strom. I hope you got a chance to watch the video of The Legend of the Persian Carpet, and it was written by Tommy DePaula. It was a really cool story about the importance of the Persian carpet for the Persian culture. The Persian culture is an ancient culture. It is no longer called Persia though. That area is now part of the Middle East, and Iraq and Iran are part of those areas. But that Persian carpet is still considered a world treasure, and it's part of the UNESCO's World Heritage, and it's kind of like as important as the Egyptian pyramids are, or even the most famous landmarks. But for Persia, they have lots of different world treasures, but the Persian carpet is one of the art forms that is world famous. So what we're going to do is we're going to be creating our own version of a Persian carpet. We're going to be doing some weaving, and for this weaving project you're going to be using a loom made out of cardboard, so something like this. This is just from a box. You can use anything that's kind of a stiff, thick paper. I would not use printer paper or even construction paper. If you have poster board, that works. You can even use an old cereal box that you can cut up. You want it to be about 5 inches by 7 inches, which is about, you know, kind of the size of my hand or a little bit larger. So from fingertip to wrist. So I recommend you getting a piece of board that's about this size. You're also going to use some weaving materials. I recommend yarn or string, but if you don't have that, you can use things like ribbon. You can also take an old shirt that you can, as long as you have parent permission, a shirt that you're no longer wearing, or your parents were planning on throwing it away or donating it or turning it into rags. You can cut it up into strips and use that. You can even use plastic bags. Yeah, plastic bags. You can even take those plastic bags, cut them into strips, and stretch those out, and that can be used as your weaving material. So anything that's kind of bendy and long and easy to weave with. If you don't have any of those materials, you can always use paper. Paper is going to be a little bit more fragile, but it can be done. So you can try using some paper for your weaving. All right. So you're also going to need some scissors and pencil. If you have a ruler, that's great too, if you really want to make everything super even. And I'm going to turn my camera down so you can see what I'm going to be doing. So today we're just creating the loom, and we're going to wrap the loom. Okay. So here's my cardboard. Decide on which side you want to be the front. The front should be nice and clean without any marks on it. This one has a cut in the back, so I'm going to probably use this as my back. I'm going to be drawing my lines on the back. That way it doesn't show up on the front. So using a pencil, and you can use a ruler also, I want you to find where the center of your board is at the top, so just make a mark. Let me switch over to a marker so that way you can see my marks a little bit better, because sometimes pencil does not show up very well on the camera. All right, so there's a mark, and you're going to do the same on the bottom like that. And then you're going to divide this in half and this in half like that. Repeat on the bottom. All right, so I have 3 equal spaces. I'm going to use my finger now. Well, you can decide if you want where that center is. It's about a finger width, so I'm going to use my finger just to measure it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm just going to try to match where it is. So you can use your finger to space it out. Okay. And that's that. You can now switch over to the scissors, and what you're going to do is you're just going to cut on those lines just a little bit in. You don't want to cut really deeply in, just about 1/2 inch. All right. So then you're going to get your weaving material. So I'm going to use some of this yarn. I'm going to put it, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my left hand as my anchor, and my left hand is going to hold this yarn down while I use my right hand to lead the yarn to the top right here. And I'm just going to go through the cut, kind of like a floss. All right. Then I'm going to wrap it on the back, and then cut. I'm going to go through the cut on the bottom here. Then I'm going to tie it so it stays in place. And you're just going to do a knot. If you're not very good at tying, this is where tape comes in handy. Take some tape and you can just tape it down like that. All right. So after you do that, then you can just keep wrapping this around like this. But if you want to save your yarn, I recommend you going to the side here. Use my left, again, I'm using my left hand as an anchor, so I'm holding this string down while I lead with my right hand. And I just lace through the bottom, go to the other side and stretch it to the top. And then here's the back again. Anchor it down with my left hand and go through the next cut, stretch it down. All right, I'm going to speed up so you guys can watch, but it won't take as long. All right, so this is what the front looks like now, and this is what the back looks like. This end, I can tie this to here, or I can tape it again and then cut off the extra. Okay. So this is all we're going to be doing for today, and next week I will show you how to weave the yarn through. So this week we created a loom and then we wrapped the loom. All right. So I'll see you here again next week. Next week, make sure that you save this loom with the wrapping and have some more yarn or more weaving materials. Remember, I gave you some options, and I will show you how to do the weaving part of it. Okay, so I will see you next time. All right, bye.